Welcome back to STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson. My first guest in the first segment was Anne Mathews. She's the director of Avenue Q, which is at the Playhouse at Westport Plaza. Now I'm joined by actors Illeana Kirven and Andrew Keeler. They are also in the musical Avenue Q that's currently being performed, as I said, at the Playhouse at Westport Plaza. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So Leanne kind of, set the stage for everything, talking about the production, and it's just a great time right now. You're actually on your run at this time through March 3rd.
Yes.
But now it's a chance to actually talk to the both of you and what it's like to be on stage. And you brought, who is this?
This is Rod.
One of the characters. And so let's kind of talk about that. I mean, you're an actor. Tell me where you're from again.
Originally Oklahoma, but I live in New York.
New York. And Illeana, you're from New York as well.
Yes, by way of Texas.
By way of Texas. And so you're both here in St. Louis for this production. I mean, how is it being on stage? And in this case, you're both actor and puppeteer. I mean, how is that so different from your normal productions that you're in?
Just learning a new skill, Like I went to school for acting, singing, and dancing, and now puppetry is another one that I can put on my resume, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Leanne was talking about just in terms of movement and following what the puppets do. I mean, do you find it challenging, or do you feel like you kind of go back to your sort of innate sort of acting skills of doing something different, or you're very present when you're sort of on stage doing the puppetry as well?
It was tough at first, but it's been about 5 weeks now, and I kind of do feel one with the puppet just because I'm more sensitive to it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
practice.
cool. No, I think it's really interesting. It brings a different notion to when you're acting to have another character that you're actually responsible for their voice and sort of their movement. And Illeana, you do not have a puppet, is that correct?
I do not. I am a human character.
You're a human character, so tell me about your character.
I am playing the role of Gary Coleman, which is that Gary Coleman that everybody knows and loves from Different Strokes. And I am the Gary Coleman who has grown up, who is now the superintendent of Avenue Q. So a different life from his celebrity childhood stardom that we all knew, him for. But so he's in a very different place than what you would think a celebrity would be.
Right. So we should mention too, for people who haven't seen it with Avenue Q, and we're looking at some B-roll of one of the productions, is that there's the idea that there's Avenue A, which is like the main avenue, High Street Avenue, and then Avenue Q. Like if we just establish setting here. So Illeana, what is Avenue Q? Avenue
Q is like way down low. When Princeton first comes to Avenue Q, he's looking for a place to live, and he says that that area looks cheap. So it's the affordable area. So if you can relate that to Gary Coleman's terms, you would really realize that he's gone way down.
Right. And I think it's great, like with the different characters, because it's so much of that your post-college or early adulthood, and this really is this humor that's injected into like what you think your life is going to be and the reality of what it actually is, trying to make it in a big city like New York. And so again, let's talk about your characters then. So who are you playing multiple characters?
Yeah, I actually play Princeton, but today I brought Rod. This is Rod.
And he's the one who's what's his character?
He has a secret that he's keeping from everyone, and he is kind of the different character from everyone in a way, because I guess he's a Republican investment banker, and he's supporting his roommate. I believe, I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but I believe that they were kind of based off of Bert and Ernie in a way, and so he's kind of the Bert character in a way.
Yeah, I noticed with a lot of this, there is that disclaimer, we can put that out there, being affiliated with the Sesame Street characters, but the inspiration and the sort of relatability of this. Both as actors, when you think about all the works that you want to do and all the, you've got your list of what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, how do you feel about with this work? Was this always on there for Avenue Q or a musical of this style?
It was for me. I saw it on Broadway. I actually was a bartender when it was originally on Broadway after it won the Tony Award. And I always loved it, and I always loved the music and the energy of the show and the message of the show, because I do think that it brings in community, and it tells us that nobody can do it alone, and you really do need your friends, and you need your community and people who are close to you that will help you get through tough times like what Princeton goes through.
Yeah. Andrew, were you going to say something as well, similar about that?
It wasn't actually, but I usually get cast in pretty serious stuff, and weirdly enough, but in college I studied commedia dell'arte, which is like Italian physical comedy, and so I've been able to kind of use a lot of that. Even though I didn't know puppetry, I was able to kind of like implement those ideas into this work. So,
that's cool. No, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I know this is a busy time for you. I mean, you've got this full run going all this week and all the way through March 3rd, but thank you so much for coming in to talk about the production. And we've got the information there for you on the screen. You can get tickets. It's happening right now. It's Avenue Q on stage now through March 3rd at the Playhouse at Westport Plaza. The address is there for you. But for tickets, just head to metrotix.com or call 314-534-1111. Well, there's more STL Live right after this. Please stay with us.